Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the breakdown. I'm Tone. It's great to have you joining me once again. I want to keep this video very, very short and to the point. I'm sure you're already aware of the stuff that's been going on here in Melbourne, both yesterday and today. So that's Monday and Tuesday. The CBD and the Westgate Bridge today, and yesterday just in the CBD. The actions of construction workers and those that are coming to terms with the fact that there's a mandate coming before them. I'm sure you understand the mandate that I mean. I have gone on about this stuff for a while, but anyway, they don't like it. They respect their right for free choice, and they don't like it. And as a result of we're being told that it's not a result of what occurred yesterday. I don't believe that. I believe that it's linked quite closely. But based on what was imposed upon them for the next 2 weeks, today, massive groups forming one big group, swarming across parts of the CBD, and indeed stopping traffic on freeway exits and entries, and getting up onto and walking across the Westgate Bridge. Now, they were chanting things along the lines of every day. So every day, they're obviously planning every day that these sanctions that the government has put on them, because that's what they are, for every day of this next 2 weeks of the sanctions that have been put on them that don't allow them to work. And then, of course, after that, they will not be allowed to work if they have not either had their first jab or don't at least have an appointment in the queue to be able to get their first jab. Well, then the 2 weeks they don't matter, because it still won't be able to go to work. That's what they're protesting about. Now, two things. I said in a previous video that this type of protest just doesn't work. And it doesn't. It doesn't matter what they say and what their actions look like. It doesn't work. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is there's only one way to protest and actually get the point across. Because protesting is not the issue, it's how it's done. Now, they've gone in, and some of them, not all of them, but some of them have acted like thugs and have clashed with police again. Now, the problem with that is each and every time they do it, the police and the media, and I'll get to them in a minute, the media are able to grab a hold of it and create a narrative, even though they always go back and say, yeah, well, okay, no, it's not everyone. I know it's not everyone. Immediately after that, it's all about the people that are doing the wrong thing. And of course, a blanket rule is put across because no one is supposed to be doing protesting in this way right now. So then they extend that net over everybody anyway. That's just part of the dishonest media we've got going on. I didn't realise it was quite so bad until I just listened to the radio all day. Now, I don't, for one, condone the actions and how it's all being done by the protesters at all. They shouldn't be in there. No, they shouldn't. And they should not be clashing with police and being violent. However, there's a caveat to this. They have a right to be upset. I mean the genuine people, not the people just in there itching for a fight. The people that are in there do have a genuine reason and right to be upset. Because the question is not the vaccine. The question is the mandate of such a thing. And if they so choose, which is their right to choose, not to have it, they're being told they've just chosen not to have a job and to not come to work. And this next 2 weeks, that's what it looks like. That's what it feels like. So whatever you've seen of this next whatever you see over this next 2 weeks and how you feel financially and emotionally and everything, that's what you get perpetually into the future. As long as you keep saying no to the thing that you can choose not to have if you don't want it. Now, that's like hitting someone and saying, all you got to do is do as you're told, and then I'll stop hitting you. That's what this is. And that's the point. It has gone beyond anything to do with medicine. It's gone beyond anything to do with some virus that may kill you. This is about control. Being told what you can and cannot do based on whether you did something first. Now, as I said, I don't condone the protesting stuff. That's just craziness. It's not going to do anyone any good. But there's something that these protesters are missing, and I'll speak to you directly, protesters. I'm not in the construction industry anymore. I had a brief stint in it, and so I understand to some degree where you come from or where you're coming from on this issue. And I actually 100% agree with you that a mandate of this magnitude in this way should not be allowed. However, what you are doing is not going to solve the problem you're facing. Now, you've just been told that you can't come to work for the next 2 weeks. But I believe a lot of you, maybe not all of you, but a lot of you, enough of you that don't agree with this stuff, you would be able to, well, look, here's the point. You won't have a job. That's what they're telling you. You won't have a job. If enough of you say, well, okay, then fine, I won't have a job, and you don't go, you understand that if enough of you do that, it will make a difference to our economy, and it will be noticed. They've played their hand, and I'm talking about the government. They've played their hand. And they think they've got you over the ropes on a financial issue because from week to week you got to pay the rent, etc., etc. But if enough people walked off the job and said, okay, fine, and you call their bluff, they can't sustain what they think they can. It will crash. As they were stating on the radio, if the workers aren't going to work, there's like 300,000 or something people that will be directly impacted because you guys aren't going to work, so then you're not going and buying this stuff and the money stops flowing. I've spoken on my channel a number of times about the money velocity. And the money velocity is largely attributed and connected to your industry. This next 2 weeks is going to hurt. But I guarantee if you can extend this out to a month, 2 months, if enough of you stand up on that level, not going into the CBD and going over the Westgate Bridge and making tools of yourselves and clowns of yourselves. I mean, really hit them where it hurts. Knuckle down, bunker down. Rely on yourself as much as you possibly can and just don't go to work. Don't comply with what they're saying and don't go to work. Their stuff is what's going to collapse, not yours. You'll still be there and still available, and you can say, hey, we're still available to do the work, but until you remove this level of control you want to have over us, we're not coming in. I've stated many, many times, currency velocity in this country and in any country is the thing that keeps things turning around. That stops, everything stops. And the biggest, most important industry, which has been allowed to tick over, and you wonder why, now they've got enough people on side and enough of the society on side that believe the lie. Now they've come for you. Now they've come for the industry that they think they can grab a hold of, and then she's done. And you're standing up and saying no, but you just don't know how to say no properly. You're saying no on a level that they can handle because they're grabbing a hold of it and they're turning it against you. And I hope you see that. They are turning it against you. It's not going to work in your favor. I'm going to wind the video up, but I want to just let you know that if this keeps going, I'm predicting that if this keeps going, it will be the excuse necessary for the emergency powers of this government that we've got that are already overreaching to high heaven. They'll do it on a level that it'll be pretty scary. They'll grab control if you don't cut them off at the knees first. And when I say that, I don't mean literally like the thugs today. I mean knuckle down, bunker down, stop spending as much currency, don't go to work, do as they say, just stop working. They don't want that. They're doing this 2 weeks because they think it's manageable. Then things will be able to start up for those that have complied. If enough don't comply because they don't want to, and again, I'm not saying don't comply, this is about compliance. If you say you don't want it, don't get it. If you say you want it, go get it. And that's the point. It's your choice, not theirs. So anyone that has gone and got it, which automatically means they've complied, well, they'll be able to go to work. But if enough people who say they don't want to and don't go and get it, therefore they haven't complied and can't work, the industry needs all the workers it can get. There's a lot of stuff being built right now. I hope that makes sense. What doesn't make sense is going in and going to war with the police and going up and making tools of yourselves up on top of people's cars, walking over the bridge. What even is that? That doesn't get a point across. What that is fodder for the dislocated media. And I did say I was going to cover that, and this video's already got real long, but I want to cover this just before I finish. I'm disgusted at what I've heard on the radio today. I've heard genuine people calling up and airing their concerns and being cut off, being told no, being told, yes, that's true to a point, but I really can't understand it. Why don't you just go and get the jab? Because they don't want to get it. Oh, that's okay. Look, you don't have to go and get it. I really can't understand why you wouldn't want to get it, but that's okay. You don't have to go and get it. You just have to understand that you won't have a job if you don't go and get it. Absolutely disgusting. And there's a number of the presenters on there that I would have had a little bit more respect for, but that's all gone now. It won't come back. You can't twist things like that and pull on heartstrings and make it sound like it, you're on the side of some sort of good. Because you're the types in the media, you're the types that allow abusers to continue to abuse, and you enable it. And you say it's a good thing because the majority are doing it. Rubbish. Absolutely disgusting media coverage on what I would consider a conservative. I didn't even listen to the ABC. I was listening to conservative radio, or at least that's what I thought. Absolutely disgusting how that came across. These people are at their wits' end, and they should not have been going in and doing this stuff in the CBD. No, they shouldn't. The government has no place and no right to be putting sanctions on an industry like this and bringing mandates. If enough people don't want to get it and they stand up, well, let's just say they don't stand up. They stay at home and sit down and watch movies. They go and do what the rest of the country has kind of been forced to do for the last 18 months. If they do that and just simply go, okay, fine. You want us to do 2 weeks? We'll do 3. We'll do 4. We'll do 5. The whole country and the government, or the whole state and its government, will be brought to its knees. That's when everything stops. And they can't have that. They don't want that. They can't handle it. They're calling your bluff. It's time you called theirs. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me on this video. I'm going to be sharing this on a number of sites or pages to try and get my point to those that I think would benefit from hearing it. But thank you for joining me, all you regular watchers. I really do appreciate that. And until next time, let's try and keep some sanity here in this Melbourne city. Victoria's starting to look a little bit communist for my liking. And I don't like it. But let's just try to keep our heads up, keep connecting with each other. And if you are going to be talking to anyone that's thinking about going and being involved with the rubbish that, the kind of rubbish that happened today and yesterday, please try and talk them out of it. And please try to assist them in understanding that we've got to hit the financial level. That's where we need to hit it. The heartstrings don't work because it seems like the majority of people in the government have no heart. And the logic strings, well, there's no point trying to pull on them because you won't pull any of them up. They won't. They don't get that logic stuff either. Make the money dry up. Dry up the currency. Then you'll get a result. Anyway, as I said, thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, I'll see you in the next videos. And bye for now and God bless.